Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders. This young man, Hudson Lindow, may rest in peace, was born on the 13th of February 2003 and he died on the 30th of April 2022. That will say 5 months before the quadruple murder. Hudson was only 19 years old. He loved to play sports. He was a happy boy according to his parents and friends. And he was found dead on the Paradise Creek. That's in Idaho, Moscow. And that's not far from the fraternities. He used to go to Delta fraternity, another frat party. So on the 30th of April 2022, the night before Hudson attended the 90th annual ball of Delta Tau Delta, the same frat that Jack Showalter was allegedly kicked off. This young man was found dead early in the morning after he attended the party. His roommate saw him last in the party around 12 o'clock, I believe at night. At 11:30 the next day, Hudson Lindow died in the cold. His case was ruled as an accident and not as foul play, which I find strange. I wonder allegedly if these frat people and frat parties and sororities are sacrificing their young people. You can see the Kings Road house where the quadruple murder happened, and you can see Hudson here with a female and a male. That was one of his last pictures. What I find strange is, did he know the victims? The night Hudson went to the party on the 30th of April, he was found on the 30th, so I believe on the 29th of April. At that party, Maddie, may she rest in peace, Jake, her boyfriend, Jack Showalter, and Xana, may she rest in peace, were all attendees of the party. What happened to this young man? People just do not go and fall in a creek or fall asleep near the creek and die of whatever reason. Was the boy driven to the creek after maybe an accident happened? Or foul play could have happened. He isn't the first young man to be found in the Paradise Creek. There was another young man who was found in 2013. They said he was disorientated. He ended up in the creek too, under a bridge. This is the second young man who was found in the creek. In 2013, he knocked on many people's doors and they sent him home because he thought he was at home. His roommate could not find him the next day and he called the police, and this young man was found in the creek too. Shockingly enough, he came from a frat party too. His name is Joseph Bodhi Widerick. You can see he was born on August 9th, 1994. He died on January 20th, 2013. Such a tragedy of young people dying, and it's not even considered foul play. My question is, are these young boys being sacrificed, allegedly? Were they poisoned, allegedly? Or was something put in their drink, like a roofie, for them to be disordinated? None of them had any signs of mental health illness, so they wouldn't have just gone to the creek to commit suicide or to unlive themselves. Trigger warning. What is happening with the frat boys in Idaho, Moscow? I know these are separate cases to the quadruple murders, but it is strange that they all end up dead in the Paradise Creek. Hudson Lindow surely knew the victims of the quadruple murder, because the party he attended, Xana was there, Maddie was there, her boyfriend Jake was there, and hoodie guy John Showalter was there too. Are these frat boys allegedly playing a game where people are ending up in the creek? So much death is circled to young people in Idaho, Moscow. You can see a young gentleman actually standing outside the girl's house. The closer you look at him, I'm just wondering, is that Demetrius? Just saying. Allegedly. Look at his beautiful smile. A 19-year-old boy. It hurts. It's heartbreaking. I have a son at that age. He had so much to live for, and he ended up dead in Paradise Creek. What is actually happening within Idaho, Moscow, I wonder? If you look at the house, we can see Kaylee, his balcony, a veranda window, because she had on the same black curtains. The kitchen is lighted up. You can imagine if anyone was peeping or checking, all they had to do is stand here and take a good look at the house. The kitchen and the sliding door doesn't have curtains. It's very easy to peep and look into this house. It is really so sad and terrible. But this young man lost his life too soon. It's a tragedy. I don't believe that it was an accident. I believe definitely frat parties must have playing a game or sacrifice someone. These people can't just end up in creeks. These are young, healthy boys. Hudson Lindow, his body was pulled from the Paradise Creek and identified. There's a parking place next to it, so I wonder if somebody drove him there after an accident or overdose and put him in the creek. Was he disorientated? Did something go wrong with the frat people, or were they just targeting different students? We heard that these were targeted crimes, the quadruple murders. So was this young man targeted too? Could it be possible? It's just that there's too much going on with these frat people that you don't know what to believe and what to rule out. He used to go to the same frat as Jack Showalter. Before Jack Showalter got thrown out of the frat, was Hudson Lindow being bullied? Did something happen to him, or was it just an accident? And isn't it strange that Hudson knew Xana, Jake, Madison, John Jack Showalter, this was where Hudson Lindow was found dead in the icy cold creek. That isn't far from the fraternities. What happened to this young man? Did he accidentally get lost and fall into the creek? I doubt. There's a parking place near the creek. So did somebody drive him there? The parking place is here. So did someone drive him here at night and just put his body near the creek? It was ruled out as foul play, just like the other young man in 2013. We can see there's written, it's from Mind Shock actually. The channel, like, share and subscribe to her. She did a brilliant kind of presentation. It's written, I have questions. Moscow law enforcement has been running with this whole nothing like this has ever happened here narrative. So does anyone care to explain this? Mind Shock is completely right. So does anyone care to explain this? University of Idaho student Hudson Lindow was found dead in Paradise Creek on the 5th, 1st, 2022. Actually, it was on the 30th of April. You read the right. Another student of university died earlier this year. He just died a couple of months before the girls. Maddie, Jake, John Showalter, that's hoodie guy, were all attendants in the party, in the frat. Hudson's body was found the next morning in the creek, right outside Creek Row. Hudson's death was ruled as an accidentally drowning. How can you drown in a creek to start with? Or am I a bit slow? I don't think so. And it's icy in the winter. Could mean literally nothing, but also here's a picture of Hudson outside of the girls' house and a map to see where his body was found in relations to the frats and sororities. One of Hudson's friends blurred out in the photo is Delta Tau, Delta's president. That is the same place Jack John Showalter was kicked out from. The same frat John Showalter was supposedly kicked out of. That's what Mind Shock said. And it is true. I've heard someone on YouTube trying to say that Jack Showalter was just escorting the girls and he's never been kicked out of a frat. Everyone knows that, allegedly. He's been kicked out for his bad behavior, harassing women, and so on. Throwing dead coyotes was one article I read. Allegedly. One of Hudson's friends blurred out the photo is Delta Tau, Delta's president. The same frat JS was supposedly kicked out of. And riddle me this, where are all the stories on this investigation? Question mark. Very good questions was asked by Mindshock. The same frat JS was supposedly kicked out. I must have said that 10 times. I don't get over that because hoodie guy isn't that innocent that he plays. He looks like he has a temper, just like the woman, the young female who used to work with him in Boise, said clearly that he used to harass her and the people he used to work with, that's Jack Showalter, till she came to a stage where she had to slap him so that he could get out of her way. He was kicked out of the corner club. Jack Showalter was ruled out too soon for me, because his behaviors don't make sense. He would have been allegedly one of the first people I would have been interested to look at. So the police basically said that he drowned. That was it. There was no foul play, but his body was found in the creek like the other young man in 2013. And this is the picture with him and the president of the creek. This young man deserves justice too. What is going on with the fraternities like Delta Tau Delt and the Sigma Chi? I believe the 3 boys in the body cam stop of the alcohol minor stop, those 3 boys were going clearly to the Delta, or maybe Sigma Chi, but it looked like they're going to the Delta Tau Delta. So are these young men and our 4 victims, Xana, Kaylee, Maddie, and Ethan, were they all sacrificed by their frats? It's starting to sound like that. We have heard plenty of times that Xana and Ethan had a fight or saw something that they wasn't supposed to see at the frat party that night, allegedly. Did someone in the frat party came to take revenge? Was there jealousy? Was there anger? Was there bitterness? Because allegedly, that is what it sounded like in the 4chan. Besides the 4chan, how come young students are being unlived? You have these 4 beautiful people here, may they rest in peace. You have Hudson, Lindow, and you have Hannah, Clear. All of them died within the same year, and they all kind of knew each other. We saw Hudson's picture in front of the girl's house, and Hudson attended the party, his last night, with Maddie, Xana, Jake, and John Showalter. What is going on? Are these all targets? Is this some kind of a target list or hit list? Allegedly? I'm just asking. I'm not accusing anyone. You need to figure this out. May these victims rest in peace. May justice be served for them. I hope this young man, Hudson Lindow's case, gets investigated properly. Everyone seems to be ruled as an accident or overdose. Did somebody come to take revenge? Or Maddie, maybe, and her friends because of Hannah Clee? Is death? We've heard all those nasty things on Twitter that Hannah's friends or people who knew Hannah put out, saying that they deserved what was coming to them. Why were these young four people targeted? I believe Xana and Eaton were targeted because they saw something they wasn't supposed to see, or it's because it was predicted in the 4chan. Sigma Chi was under investigation, so they were people of interest. Once you're under investigation, that means something was going on. The 5 figures running must have been from Sigma Chi. I don't leave any stone unturned. I want to find out each and everything that could have been connected, since the chief himself said that this was a targeted crime. The mayor said it was a crime of passion. How come Jack Showalter is involved everywhere? With these 4 victims, with Hudson Lindow, allegedly, he was from the same fraternity. Rest in peace, Maddie, Xana, Eaton, and Kaylee, and Hudson Lindow, Hannah Clear, and Widrick, the young man. I don't believe that they were accidents. There's always a reason. These are literally children. They just turned into the adult age. They had so much to live for. Even if people felt, example, that Maddie was bullying someone, nobody needs to be unlived. That is the worst thing a human being can do. None of them deserved what came to them. But we need to keep their names. We need to say their names all the time and pray that they get justice and that they get the correct justice. Not that any random person who was driving around would be accused of. If it's Brian Koberger, yes, I have many questions when it comes to Brian Koberger. Why was he driving there? His alibi sounds lousy, although you can drive at night, but why exactly there? I personally believe that Brian Koberger was framed. Somebody called him there that day. He could have been going to purchase something from the house. Maybe he was called because he was dating one of the surviving roommates, allegedly. You never know, and I wouldn't know. There was so much going on there. I think Brian Koberger did not do the quadruple murders. I'm saying it out right now. I really believe that there's something more that has been hidden here. I want to know Jack Showalter's movements that night, because he went upset. And if he was such a good man, escorting the girls, why would Maddie and Kaylee run away from him? He was harassing them or harassing other girls in the corner club. He was thrown out of the corner club. And many people say allegedly that when Kaylee asked Maddie, what did he tell Adam? She said, I told him everything. Many people said that it's been cut off. Jack Showalter said, Maddie, you know they're going to get you. So that just shows that he knows more than he's saying. These poor victims were targeted, and they need their justice. Their families need to heal. They can't heal without getting proper justice. Rest in peace. The 4 victims, may justice be served. Please like, share, and subscribe.